What's happening, Pizzaholics? We're over here by Joe's. It's late out. Did a couple things tonight, a lot of walking around. I got no script Vic here in the background. I'm touring him around. It got late. We went to Artichoke, they were closed. I said, look, it's late at night, where else to go but Joe's? I got 2 margaritas this time, guys. Everybody talks about the pizza here. Nobody talks about their Margarita Pizza. I'm gonna go find out if it's the real deal. Let's go eat, guys. And there we have it. There we have it. Looks nice and saucy. Looks nice and saucy. For a margarita, though, they gotta put basil on there, so you can't really call it a margarita in my book. I think he wants a bite. Should we give him a slice? Should we give him a slice? All right, folks. We're at Joe's. What could go wrong at Joe's, right? Sometimes they suffer from consistency. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're okay, sometimes... I'll tell you one thing.
I got a broken tip. Just the tip's broken. Just the tip's broken.
Got gas lamp Vic straight out of the gas lamp district, eating that crap pizza in San Diego. It's holding up, guys. It's holding up. It's holding up. A little flashing on the tip. A little flashing tip. It's different than it was the last time. Not as much char. Wow.
That's really good.
Crispy first bite. Always with a Joe slice. Always. Look at this guy, he's blown away by it. Me, it's just an ordinary day. It's Thursday.
You're gonna enjoy that slice.
This guy's fucking like, look at him. It's like he's never ate pizza before.
You never cursed in your channel. Why are you cursing?
No, I'll cut it out. By the way, guys, I'm moving on up, man. I got a camera operator now, AKA Best Betty Vet.
Just for like 5 days, though, right?
I'm a millionaire for just a day. Better than, better than nothing.
Wow, sweet. Sauce is like, not like L&B sweet, but Margherita sweet.
Make sure the roach doesn't get me, okay?
That thing is still there.
He's moved on to another stoop.
It's not every day you step off a plane and you go to Joe's. I mean, you know me, guys. I love Joe's. I don't believe this place is overhyped. I'm not one of those people. Some people think it's overhyped because they go on an off day. I think today's an off day. It's not bad, but the crust is not as light as I remembered it. I know it's a nice day. It's the summer. I went in the winter. Less tourists. There's a lot more tourists out there. They're making a whole bunch of pizza. High volume. It's still very light. It's a little denser than last time.
So did you ask me a question or did you answer it already?
But it's still crunchy. So I'm gonna ask Gas Lamp District, no script Gas Lamp District Vic.
Wow.
Why he was like, you saw his reaction, guys. He was straight up like,
So look, you don't get pizza like this all the time.
you gotta stare at the mic.
You don't get pizza like this everywhere. So it has the creamy, fresh mozzarella, as you can see. Show the camera.
Do that now, do it later.
Creaminess of the fresh mozzarella, and then the sauce is like sweet.
I gotta say, this fresh mozzarella is really, really fresh. Lots of moisture, fresh. It tastes like they just cut a piece of mozzarella that was just made. Like usually fresh mozz, it loses its taste right away. This thing jumped out.
So this pie came out right as soon as we ordered it. Like in a minute later after we ordered it.
Fresh pie.
It was slicing it up. It was a sliced pie, but we had the first 3 slices, and then The crust, I don't know what he's talking about. That crust is fantastic.
It's crunchy. It's crunchy, but it's dense. It's not as light. It's, you know, it's still, it's a little denser than last time. If you can see the aeration, let's jump into the lab, guys, and I'll show you what I'm talking about.
He thinks that pizza's dense. Look, go to Toppers.
All right, folks, it's about that time when we move on into the lab and analyze the pizza here before us, where we get a closer look, and I'll tell you just how good, bad, and sometimes ugly pizza can be. In this case, very much so the former. Guys, we got to start with the cheese. That's the first thing that jumped out at me. Nice and fresh, good moisture, not too plasticky. There's nothing more to say. Good fresh mozzarella. Some of the best fresh mozzarella I've had on a pizza. Sauce had slight sourness, a little tart, a little sweet, you know, tomato sweet. It's not a dark looking sauce, it's fairly bright. It's not pasty, it never tasted watered down, but it had a tint of tartness, which wasn't too bad. Hey, there's no herbs, you got to put it on yourself, there's no basil. Can't call it a margarita without the basil, but the sauce is on the pulpy side, which I like. It's not that silky gravy type sauce. It's actually, you get some pulp in there, which I liked. Very solid flavor in the sauce, in the cheese. Crust was crunchy from first bite to last. Decent char pattern on the bottom. Usually I get a Joe slice. It's a little more charred than that. A little more airy too. Check out the density here. Crunchy, but a little dense. But it's not the heaviest thing on earth, I can tell you that. Overall, solid pizza. Let's go continue to explore it before we score it.
Speakers.
It's about that time when the pizza gets cold. We give it another fold to find out if the crust retains its snap and crunch long after cooling down.
Very pliable crust. You can see those air pockets.
Does it still have some crunch, Vic? I think it lost some of it.
Yeah, definitely no crunch. That's for sure. No crunch. But didn't lose any flop.
Yeah, it lost a lot of its crisp.
I think this was delicious. I'd order it again. I mean, I would drive to Manhattan to get this slice. I think it's better than a regular cheese slice. It kind of reminded me of Luigi's fresh mozzarella, with the exception of the little basil drizzle that Luigi's does. This doesn't have that. But this is definitely, I would go 8.6 on the fresh mozzarella slice at Joe's.
Hey, Vic, you've been in Cali too long. I'm going 7.7 for Joe's. The Margarita slice. I like their regular cheese better. It was saltier. I'm usually a Margarita guy, but on a Margarita, the sauce has got to be spot on. I just didn't like it personally, that's all. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Cali kid was overwhelmed. I was underwhelmed. Shout out to Best Betty Vet for holding my camera. She didn't want to be on camera today. Shout out to Gas Lamp District No Script Vic for offering his generous opinion. Guys, if you can, hit that like, smash the sub button. It would help me out a lot. I'm out, guys. Be well. Until next time, keep those bellies full. This is Antonio signing off.